in there?
I am going to be honest with
Was
you and say I couldn't tell you because
you can tell me?
the evidence lockers and the evidence field
Right.
have been incredibly inconsistent. So much so that that report number I just gave you, thinking it was that, is a situation in which casings and the firearm belonging to a suspect in custody that went through there did not get put in the actual thing. And so when it got FOIA'd, it's missing
Yeah.
entirely, despite the fact that it was in
Okay.
the evidence locker. So I then
I
made a
remember you
separate report.
mentioning it.
I moved
Hmm.
the casing. Casing was in the evidence field. Everything's good. I then moved the gun so that everything is showing up properly. Now they're both missing. So could I tell you if it showed up? No, I couldn't. Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Did you run the gun through evidence?
I don't. I actually don't believe so. I don't believe so. Primarily because it was sort of a large scale situation. Um, you know, he obviously had complaints regarding everything that had occurred, or at least how everything got to where it was. And as a result of that, and just having a lengthy conversation amongst myself, Espino's, King, regarding everything, and then reaching out to y'all, it skipped my mind.
Okay. All right. Um. Okay. If that's the case, I'll let you know now. That as of this morning, upon the reason you're down here is because this morning I met up with another Rhodes, actually, Dominic Rhodes. Are you
Okay.
aware? He's working the Chastity Marie murder investigation. Um,
Okay.
and this gun specifically the was used on that scene. Um, and we managed to manually
Oh,
find this gun. Um, it wasn't showing up, which I think was likely an issue with the system and not you. Uh, but obviously, if you were to have ran it, it might have been found sooner. So I guess my next questions would be: while you had Sean in custody, did he mention anything about Chastity Marie Sanders at all?
nope. Our conversation prior to Marshall's arriving and speaking to him was purely regarding the incident at hand and how things progressed to where it was regarding the incident at I think it was a fair or something, and how he was very upset that the officer that he was speaking with um, was somebody that he can confirm was present for the original situation and was unwilling to take his victim statement after he came out of the ICU. Um, and then again, that sort of roped in King, who was also looking into it. And his only question was whether or not there was much about him in the report. So then it transitioned from normal processing to, trying to figure out what the hell happened. And then him trying to justify having Espinosa's firearm on his person instead of leaving it in the glove box when he took Espinosa's car. Um, and then I'm going to be honest, afterwards, he then brought up Flop, um, and Rue and Ziggy. And this was after the marshals had left, specifically, regarding, um, essentially how I feel about the situation. Um, and I was upfront and honest with him. Not the biggest fan, but I'm at this point in my life where people are adults and they can make their own decisions, and I'm tired of intervening.
Okay. So nothing mentioned about Chastity Marie Sanders or
No,
anything regarding any other police investigation other than, the one discussed about the state fair.
that is correct.
Okay. Did he mention anything about the gun in his possession?
No, not once. Not that I recall.
Okay. And I'm sorry for going over this, but did you ask him any questions about where he might have got that gun?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Okay. And Dex, have you got any questions? Yeah.
Nothing from me.
All right. Senior Officer Rhodes. At this time, we don't have any further questions. We might be in contact for further comments, but at this time,
Okay.
the interview is going to be suspended at 16:37 BST. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be everything. Yeah. Pretty much exactly what I said. Yeah, we found that gun this morning. It's come back to the murder investigation. And it ties Sean McQuillan. And there was an announcement about it actually, but it ties him to that scene where Chastity was killed. So, you know, yeah, pretty important piece of evidence. And you know, I'm sure it just slipped your mind, but
Sorry, do you mind
I
if
just
I
wanted
pop
to
out
get,
for 2 minutes?
yeah, of course, Dex. It just I had to get clarification on that, you know.
No, you're good. You're good. Um, yeah, you want my honest opinion, Richard?
Yeah.
An overwhelming majority of reports that we write, and when I say an overwhelming majority, I'm talking like, I would argue 90, I'll say maybe 98% of the reports we write are, how do I explain this? Fuck. With how, oh gosh, how do I want to explain this? To be clear, I'm not making excuses, and I clearly fucked up there, right? I take full responsibility. It is what it is. In saying that, when I and every other officer are processing someone, and they are just continuously, yelling, screaming, the police department, as mostly a whole, are kind of in this like, all right, let's just get them processed as quickly as possible. We'll get stuff in the evidence locker, fill out my report later.
Mm-hmm.
Then later just doesn't really come, because then the maze bank's being hit,
Yeah.
and then the cash exchange is being hit. And the other day I described to somebody that in the police department, I kind of feel like I'm drowning. And that is probably one of the big contributing factors with there being so few people. So much so that y'all, as marshals, have outnumbered us for a decent portion of today. And there isn't a good way logistically to deal with the amount of information that we have. And it's not good. It's not good. I hate it. Being plagued with IT issues,
Mm-hmm.
plagued with the nonstop conveyor belt of, stuff that doesn't care if there's one or two people at the end, as opposed to 19 or 20. It keeps moving and stuff keeps falling off. You got to try your best while simultaneously cutting corners, to even just give the perception that you're keeping up, but I don't think many people are.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
I have something for you.
You do?
Yeah. This was given to me by Daft. Here.
Oh.
This was a little bit ago, but there's never really a good opportunity. You're gonna want to go to the last pages. So Daft was with somebody, I forget who found that in a dumpster, and I don't know how major that is, or whether or not it's even accurate. But I mean, some of those numbers are massive.
I think this. Hold on. RJ. The name RJ.
Ryo Jr.
The besties.
Yes, because then there's Zuck, who's always
Oh,
been
there's-
affiliated with, Future
Oh
and
shit!
Forehead.
You're right. I didn't even see that name.
Yep,
Holy
it's off to the right-hand side.
fucking shit! Jack. This was in a dumpster.
Yep. And it's crazy to me that it was found, because if I found, I'd flip through the first few pages, and if there's nothing, I'd be like, it's empty. But to find it on the last 2 or 4 or whatever it is, if those numbers are accurate, doesn't it say like 20-something thousand bags a day?
Oh, for the wheat. Is that? Oh my god! It does. They're growing 20,000 bags a day, and they're selling it for $20 per bag to outsiders. Holy fuck! That's 400 grand a day.
Yeah, but look at how it was
Yeah,
written. If I recall correctly, there's a number for people in their gang and then people outside of their gang. But then
right, but
let this sink in.
yeah,
They're then selling it. Those people are then selling it for a profit.
right.
So I don't know what they're selling it for, but just assume $10 a baggie more than the outsider cost. So we'll just say 35,
Hold on,
right?
Hold on. It says gang funds total here.
It was a small amount. Oh wait, no, that was a massive amount.
That says 39 million. There's no way that's right.
I have no idea.
There's no way that's right.
Couldn't tell you. $400,000 a day. Now again,
I mean, if that's true,
well, again, let this sink in, Richard. 20,000 bags a day. Assume they're selling at $35 a bag. For the people inside the gang, that's what?
they're making
$30.
$30 a
That's
bag.
600 grand profit.
That's insane.
That's just assuming a $10 profit for the people outside of the gang per bag. Do you think they're selling it for that price?
Who'd you get this from?
This came from Daft while he was off duty.
He was off duty.
Yep,
Well,
Daft
you
was
got this
off
today?
duty.
Yeah.
No, this was a little bit ago. It was my intent to give it to the marshals, but it was also, I think, around slightly after marshals were introduced. I don't even know if people had been hired. I'm not sure. Things weren't flushed out essentially, and there was no sense in giving it to anybody else until everything was sorted.
I'm gonna call from an unknown number.
Oh gosh.
State Marshal Richard Dock. Yeah, this is he. Yep. Yeah, that's correct there. Okay, Dr. Everett, you have some news about me and my husband? My husband was killed in the line of duty. Is that so?
What news to me?
Is that so? What happened to him? What? Doc, where's your bedside manner, Doctor? They took his socks.
Oh my god.
Why would they? I hope you know if this is a false claim, state marshals can see payphone numbers. Okay, I know who you are. If this is fake, I will find you.
Oh, he just got a call saying that I was
Okay,
killed in the line of
okay.
duty
Fuck
from
you,
an
Dr.
unknown
Everett.
number.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay, honey.
Yeah, me too. That wasn't Jamal,
You got-
right?
No, I don't know who it was. I'll be honest. No idea. Absolutely have
Okay.
no clue.
Okay. I can only think of like 3 people. It would be like Jamal, Peters, maybe Forehead, and or Future.
Who was the second name you said?
Peters. He's a bit of a stirrer, you know?
No, it can't be. He called me 6 minutes ago.
Peters?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Oh, wow. He's right next to the Fleeka by Legion Square.
With the
Where there's a
payphone, though?
payphone, yeah. I don't wish to jump to conclusions, but... I mean... Did it sound like Peters?
I couldn't tell. He had a voice
shit.
changer.
Sir, what was your name again?
Dexter.
Dexter, you very much so look like Peters.
What?
Yeah, have you
What?
seen Peters recently? He
I've never
looks
seen him
like-
at all.
He's got like the long hair that comes like a bob, you know, and he's got the mustache. He looks nothing like. How dare you say he looks like Peter's?
I don't know if I should be offended or not right now.
You should be offended. You
But
should
when I saw
absolutely
him
be
yesterday, I called him Wrangler. Like it, I mean, his mustache was even longer than it is now. He
Yeah.
trimmed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, do whatever it is you need to with that information.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with it outside of hand it to a marshal once everything's sort of been flushed out regarding investigations, especially considering the whole CIB or whatever the hell it was put to a stop. So it was
Yeah.
like, if I didn't hand it off to marshals, nothing would have come of it.
I can assure you this. There will be things come of it. This is that you've just handed candy to a baby. Okay. This
Oh.
this is fantastic. I don't think that's the saying that I was going for, but I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay.
Double down. You've got to have
Yeah, I'm
confidence.
doubling down. I'm doubling. You handed so much candy to this baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
Papa.
I mean, it was weed.
Okay, maybe that was a bit
And
too far.
I think it was mostly weed. I know there was mention of like weed, materials, GPUs. I don't know what else. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the only
yeah.
two names that I mean, I definitely like skimmed over it, but those are the only two that like stuck out.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as for the gun situation, what we'll probably do, just to keep you in the loop, is we'll probably have a chat to your shift 3. I'll probably have a chat to. We'll probably pass this on to command or something like that. Given it's
Okay.
not really a marshal thing. You know, marshals mainly for corruption or anything like that. But we'll just have a chat with the command about it, just so they're aware. But obviously, I'm not going to stop you from doing the same if that's something you, if you want to do yourself as well. But we'll definitely be doing that whenever. I guess it would be tomorrow, but at this point, because it's just not shift 3.
All right. That works for me.
All right.
I'll be around.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
No
Mr.
problem.
Rogues.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Take it easy.
See you later.
Thank you for that notebook. Man, it's fucking crazy. This game that fucking. It's not what we need. It's to do with I'll tell you that.
Why do we need it?
No, we do need it. No,
You just said we don't need it.
we do need it, but like we don't need it. You know, it's not like it's not like a necessity. You know.
Okay. Do we want it?
We want it. Of
Okay,
course we
we
do.
want it.
We ain't gonna throw this in the trash. Somebody put this in the trash. It's great. You know what? I'm
Can't believe Matt Rhodes is dead.
Put gloves on. I haven't got gloves on, but you put gloves on.
I've got thin gloves.
I don't.
Mm-mm-mm. Now, do we go back out in a CVPI? That's the question. Hey, question.
Yes, sir.
What legally prevents the pushing of charges now?
What do you want to bet?
What?
If in terms of the gun,
Yeah.
nothing. Double jeopardy pertains to incidents, not evidence. I checked this morning.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, it's under. I think it's like the due process part of the legislation. There's a double jeopardy part at the bottom. Don't get me wrong. I think that they'll fight it to hell in court.
Yeah, but I think it'd be nice to have a very official determination.
I completely agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Figured I'd ask.
All right.
Now we have to look at legislation. The let's see. Find Oh. Wow, it is worded that way. Citizens of the state of San Andreas shall not be prosecuted twice for the same criminal incident. The only exception to this... Hold on. The only exception to this is the delayed death exception, which is when an individual charged with a violent felony, blah, blah, blah. I'm reading things on two different screens. If the individuals who were harmed died at a later date from the injury sustained, may be revisited. Would be interesting to see how that plays out. Alright, we're going to refuel this and then grab the CVPI. Chat, no fuel bug in a while. Has anyone experienced it? Has anyone seen any on stream?
No, nobody. No one
I don't think I've seen it once in the past week.
Hey, Rhodes.
Hello.
Oh, Rhodes, I need to talk to you.
Okay, what's up?
What's it called? Somebody came by PD, a citizen of the state, of the city, came by the PD wanting to talk to LSPD senior, because they gave a report. They filed a report against somebody else.
Okay.
I guess I don't know, like another civilian. They reported somebody for something they did.
Okay.
And then later in the day, those people or that person plus their friends hunted him down, kidnapped him, interrogated him, and corroborated, and then compared his side of the story to what he said. They quoted, "That's not what the officer told us."
What?
So he's of the belief
Huh?
that the officer he reported the people to spoke about them having been reported to them after the fact. He basically thinks a cop leaked that he reported somebody because they said that they heard from the cop a side of the story.
That could be a stir also.
True.
Well,
I mean, it's still worthy of looking
Saucy
into.
ran
But,
up, you know.
but I mean,
Yeah, it
I
also depends
I also don't know how we would like.
How would you even like verify? And validate?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a tricky one.
Well,
Give
you
me a
said-
second. Hold on 1 second. All right. Do you
Yes.
have the report number?
I didn't want to get too much info because it's not really my thing. It's I don't know, as a deputy, if that's like overstepping in a sense, but I got his contact info, and I did ask like clarifying questions of like their wording, whether it could be, because they said the officer, so I said it's likely that it wasn't even the reporting officer that told them. If that is what happened, it could have been any officer that read it. And he said that he's of the belief that it was the same officer because before even filing the report earlier in the day, he saw that officer being like buddy with those people out in the public, like
Oh.
yeah. But I got I made him 301. He's Antonio Valentino, so you have his number if you wanted to call him.
All right.
He said that he talked to the marshals, and the marshals said to speak to LSPD chain of command first, and then
All right. I'll reach out to them.
okay.
Did they? I'm gonna ask regardless. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll call them.
Yeah, I didn't ask too many. I didn't want to ask too many questions because I didn't want to.
No, you're good. You're good.
Pry too
You're
much.
good. I'll go give him a call now. Figure out what's going on.
All right, cool. Hey, bro, do you think the Taurus is a little top heavy?
A little? Excuse me?
I'm asking Rhodes. I'm picking Rhodes' brain on
When
it.
you say top heavy, you mean are you frequently
Like that bitch likes being on its back.
We must have like 10 bricks of concrete stones in our engine, because as soon as we take the the most minuscule hump off the ground, we're flipping forward.
Yeah, it is a little front heavy, but it also loves cosplaying a turtle.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I tried flipping. I think it was Beans' course yesterday or the day
It's
before.
like a puck on ice. He just slides.
Yeah,
on its
I couldn't get it to flip.
Yeah.
And he was on a hill, by the way. He was on a hill, so like everything was uneven. It was like perfect unflipping vehicle territory. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. It got pushed up against a guardrail.
Yeah, I think I've turtled 3 times this shift, and I've been on duty for what, an hour and a half.
Better than when the CVPI was on 2 wheels.
True. Yeah, but you went through that trouble. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I think the
And
Scout
now
was the bread and butter.
now it drives decently-ish, but it's got nowhere, like it's rough.
Yeah, that's
I got
kind
a
of
call
like
from
it's-
Eugene, by the way, regarding the situation from earlier. It wasn't necessarily a complaint as much
was
as it
Eugene?
was, yeah, as much as it was a sort of a constructive conversation where he said he had spoken with King regarding, CVPIs and this and that. And I was like, listen, bud, we had like 4 units on duty. Of those 4, I was actually in a CVPI.
And you were primary, and I was.
well,
I was
when-
pitting the gauntlet the whole time.
When I was there, yes, that is correct. But I made it clear, like, listen, the Tauruses and stuff, anytime I was there as a CVPI, they immediately yielded. I was always, the one behind you. And we only started pitting once McGregor or whoever it was jumped out and tried to steal that car and then showed up a minute or 2 later with a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I mean, the unfortunate reality is that the PD right now is still a logistical nightmare, and we need to be equipped to deal with the average situation. And the average situation has multiple gauntlets, Vagueros, tailgaters. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And if we only have 4 units on duty, maybe 5, like
We can't all switch into CVPIs. and
Exactly.
then once those
It's-
gauntlets show up, there's nothing you do.
yeah.
And when that call did get to the point where the gaunts were there, then it just turns into a petty nightmare, and it can't be expected
Yeah.
for us to de-escalate and make our horses back up because gauntlets have showed up.
Yeah, and to make matters even worse, it is very difficult to disable a vehicle by pitting it, especially when it's a vehicle that is very slow, it just doesn't have the momentum to strike a wall hard enough to do any sort of damage to it, right? So it's always going to get out. And because there's always interference cars, right? I mean, that tailgater was there from the very start.
And
if there's any interference cars, you can't box it. You're just going to get hit out of the way. That happens every time. Not much you can do.
Yeah, I do think there's also like a to a point level of constructive convo you can have, I guess, with most criminals, because they're always going to have their opinions.
Oh yeah,
not,
I mean, he was very reasonable, and to be fair, sure. I don't consider Eugene typically to be like, he's a sort of complain in the moment, blah blah blah, but he understands he understands the position that we're in, and sort of acknowledge that like criminals who do it on a frequent basis are the reason it becomes increasingly more difficult, because again, I've always been to the mindset that we need to be equipped to deal with the average situation, and if the average situation has 3 fucking gauntlets, can't be surprised when PD is trying to stay equipped to deal with that.
Yeah, especially at low numbers when you can't quickly swap out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That do be the case.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna head over to the bank and grab my.
I'm gonna give that person a call.
I'm gonna go. I'll let you guys know how much I get paid.
Wait, has it been an hour?
It's been an hour and 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh shit! Wait, mine's probably close to an hour. What's up?
So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I think a civil war's coming, and I'm not trying to stir. I'm just being honest.
Why? What's going on?
These paychecks and these the county lines and arresting people in certain spots, and
I think it's stupid.
It's gonna get hectic, and it's gonna cause a division within the PD.
Cause a division? What do you mean cause a division? There's always been one.
Yeah, I understand that PD it's Game of Thrones, the Badge of Thrones season 1 right now. I understand that. Okay, but the thing is, I feel like we have a pretty good relationship with BCSO, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like it's gonna get to the point where it's not gonna have a good relationship, because it's gonna be looking out for counties and budgets and all that good jazz.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you. I agree with you. I think it's gonna happen. Do I think the mayor or anyone else is gonna care? Who the fuck knows? Right. I haven't a single fucking clue, not a single one, as to the mayor's stance. I mean, hell, I got on duty today and saw that we have a new chief of police, and that Barrick and York are now senior officers.
Right.
That's kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
1038 South.
Innocent until proven guilty act. Let's see. Fight charges without going to jail. Okay, time to read something new. And
oh shit.
Send it. Are you reading the thing?
Yeah, I'm reading it.
I think my paycheck is not enough that I can't collect it again after.
Privilege that can be granted to any individual placed under arrest for at least one felony. An individual is charged with any heinous act as defined in due process. Bail conditions must be set on the docket, and they're not eligible for bail under this legislation. The person arrested must obtain a lawyer, make a good faith effort to obtain one if a lawyer is not immediately available. The person arrested must allow the arresting officer to check their bank balance, excluding transaction history. Person arrested must agree to appeal their charges on the docket within 72 hours of bail being granted. And the person must not have violated bail conditions any time in the past to be eligible for bail. Section 2. There needs to be submission by the arresting officer. If the above conditions are met, the arresting officer will submit a bail request to the judges and justices. Content of bail request. Bail request must include the following information: person's name, state ID, bank balance. Alright, I'm gonna go over to Mission Row and read this. We have to put their criminal history. We can't copy this. Guess I'll have to take a photo. Notification of bail amount. The determined bail amount will be relayed to the arresting officer, who will inform the person arrested and their lawyer. The person arrested can choose to accept or decline the bail amount. They also elect a sponsor to pay the bail on their behalf. Sponsor must be awake, available, and able to come in person to the police station. Bail payment and forfeiture. Payment of bail. Once the bail amount is paid, the person is to be released from police custody. Bail amount shall be paid by a bill issued to the person. Forfeiture of bail. If the bail conditions are violated, the bail amount will not be refunded. The appeal for charges is not filed within 72 hours of bail being granted. A warrant for the person's arrest will be issued, remain active until the statute of limitations expires, and the bail amount will not be refunded. Refund of bail. If appeal goes through to completion, regardless of the verdict, the bail amount shall be refunded upon the conclusion of the trial. Standard bail conditions. Person shall not change your place of residence. Jesus. Without first obtaining permission from the court, including but not limited to the purchase of any new properties. Intoxicants, person shall not.
Is radio chatter, is radioactivity clear?
Yeah, radioactivity is clear.
So I'm guessing this from this last legislation, rich people will not be going to prison if it's one felony, basically.
Wait, say that again? No, there's a few different pieces of legislation you have to look up, like the Heinous Act and another one that's listed in there. So you should read it a little bit more.
Yeah, but I'm actually, let me just 25 with you, Vic. What's your 20?
Right now I'm on Great Ocean Highway, right down the street from some drug calls that me and my FTO were going to go to. We can pull over and wait for you.
I'm en route.
Alright, A-firm, I'll wait for you.
Huh. Law enforcement agencies have 30 days from the time of crimes committed to press charges upon a citizen, provided there is probable cause and supporting evidence. An arrest warrant is issued for criminal charges. Law enforcement agencies have a maximum of 30 days from the issuance of the warrant to serve the warrant, subject to periodic extension requests to be approved by a judge/justice. For crimes of continuing nature, the statute of limitations shall commence from the last act of the crime. No criminal case shall be accepted outside of the 30-day statute, except as provided in Section 5.
Maybe up here in Sandy, and when I was driving by,
All evidence to support charges must have been collected within 30 days prior. Any evidence collected outside of 30 days shall be considered inadmissible. Exceptions to evidence collection time frame. If
just looking at it.
Okay, turn my radio off. Evidence that references actions, events, or any other items older than 30 days may be considered if it directly impacts the understanding of the crime committed within the 30-day period. Such historical evidence must be corroborated by current evidence within 30-day statute to be deemed admissible. Charges issued by San Andreas Department of Justice include but not limited to contempt of court, failure to appeal, or failure to appear, violating a court order shall be exempt from any statute of limitations. It's kind of always been the case, at least for contempt or I guess that should probably be reworded to also, once somebody's found guilty, but that's more so just elaborating and not like, I think that's always the case, right? You can't, once you've been found guilty, you can't outrun a warrant, 30 days, file a grievance. Let's see. Decisions. All right. Time to call this person.
Hello.
Hello. This is Senior Officer Rhodes with the LSPD. How are you?
Oh, I'm well, Rose. How are you?
I'm good. So I have a couple questions regarding a situation I was informed of.
Yes.
So I don't have much context. Are you free to talk?
Yeah, I am. Do you need me to meet you at LSPD?
That would be ideal, yes.
Okay, I'll head over there now.
All right. I will be in the lobby.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
See you then.
bye. Mm, 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 mm. Hey Martha, how you doing?
Hello, darling. I was just reading the new legislation.
Yep, just ran through that one.
It's a lot, in it. What a lot of writing. Why do they do that?
I don't know.
It's too much. I could have wrote that in a couple of sentences. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
the
Long
issue
ones,
is
but, you know.
loopholes and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm gonna be real.
Really? Why not? How's it going to affect you?
Well, we already have mountains of paperwork to do.
Yeah.
And this is not only going to contribute to that, but it's essentially going to require that a lot of our cases are going to end up being situations in which who knows, if a lot of people end up taking this, cases could be scheduled 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks away from when the situation started. So it's gonna be tricky.
What do you mean by that? Do you mean it's because if you have to let them go if it isn't like a really bad thing, it's going to take a bit, people aren't going to get round to it so much because they don't have to worry about someone in the cell? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's more so that, okay, let's say someone who is already
Yeah.
swamped with paperwork, 90% of which never gets looked at, and sort of just sits there until statute of limitations passes, will have somebody or maybe even several people in custody,
Right.
let's say two of which want to take the bail thing. Let's say the other person doesn't have the money, right?
Right.
We then, write out all of our stuff. Everything's good. They get released. They get charged whatever amount.
Yeah.
They then, it gets put on the docket, their appeal. We get tagged in it. They ultimately FOIA the report, which is fine. Although right now we have a lot of issues with the MDT. Then it goes to scheduling. That could be scheduled in a day or two, or it could be 3, 4, 5 weeks. For their day in court, it may be weeks.
Yeah. But I mean, so why is it different? Because surely they can appeal and do all those things anyway, can't they?
Right now, yes, but most don't. Primarily because. Oh, can I help you?
Is this a private I can wait, sir.
Huh.
I just
No,
need a
just
moment.
what
When you're...
if
yeah.
I mean, if it's important, I don't
No,
mind.
it's okay. It's fine. I can wait.
Yeah, no. Sure, I'll speak with
Okay.
you in just a moment. But right now, people don't really appeal charges primarily because they do have the mindset of, well, I've already spent my time in prison, right? Which is understandable, right? But then you have to sort of consider the effects of said system on the already heavily understaffed police department.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're legally required to
you've got to do it
appeal
though. You've
in
got to do
72
it now,
hours.
haven't you? Because it's wrote down now.
Oh, 1 second.
Mm.
Hello.
Hey, just looking at the report we were just talking about. I can see. So this morning when we looked, there was no evidence listed.
Okay.
But obviously in the evidence locker there is stuff in there. So I'm thinking there's an issue. But
there definitely
I'm trying to
is.
clarify. Did you add like possession photos and stuff to the evidence?
Yes. I specifically took photos of. Oh my gosh! Not even that's in there.
No.
Hold on. Give me a second. I may be able to find it.
This is just to me. I'm just clarifying in our report that there is, issues because I'm just seeing how far the issues go, basically.
I may have to look for stuff that was done at the same time. Give me a second.
How do you title them normally?
Typically I put possessions. Hold on.
But do you put the name?
Typically, yeah. Oh, those are old. Hold on. I need to get the date of the original one. What was the original report number?
8113, 30th of July.
Let's see. Here, I'm gonna have to check ShareX. Open a folder.
Are you all right? Do you need any help?
What did you just do?
Oh, you are. Okay then. Well, he's over there.
I know. You two
Yeah,
were
I
having a
know.
conversation. I don't want to
You know.
interrupt. Now he's on the phone, so I'll just. Is he still?
Any
on the
luck?
phone?
Yeah, no,
No.
he is. He's having a little chat, so I
Gotcha,
stepped
gotcha.
away. I don't want to be like encroaching on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have like history in your like your camera?
Sorry, I'm trying to locate it because it would have been July, and it splits folders into months. Can I give you a call back? Because somebody's waiting on me to take a
Yeah, that's
report of a
fine.
situation.
Okay.
As soon as I have that information, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. I can take reports, you know. Was it anything that I could have done?
No. Not this situation,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right then.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. Well, I'll see you later then. It's really nice to see you and
You
catch
as
up
well,
again.
Martha.
So,
It's been a while.
yeah. Okay. Well, I hope everything's all right with you. And if you do need any help that you think I can help you with, just let me know. All right.
Will do. Will do.
Okay then.
All right. Come over this way.
Yes, sir.
Here we are. You have some ID with you?
Yes, I do.
Let me go
Check
ahead
that
and
real
start
quick.
with that.
There you go.
Is that 13655 for the state ID?
Yes.
All right, perfect. And can I also have your phone number?
It is 420 445 4836.
4836. All right. Just a moment. This in a notepad. All right. What happened?
So essentially, I believe it was like maybe 2 or 3 days ago. I had initially made a report. I was my firearm was stolen and I was robbed doing my job. And during that report, I had given as much information as I could to the first officer who created it. I later came back to provide extra information that I eventually found out regarding like a license plate to two separate officers who added, I believe, to that report. The next day, while I was doing my job with G6, a vehicle pulls up to me at gunpoint again, basically interrogates me regarding that same report and the people involved in it. They also mentioned, because they were questioning me if I was telling the truth or not regarding what I had said. They mentioned that the officers that took the report were the ones that told them the information regarding my name, so on and so forth. And I was wondering if that's like something that normally happens, because it basically put my life in jeopardy at that point.
It's hard to say. Because when investigating stuff, or questioning people regarding stuff, I guess the possibility does exist that can happen, though I don't think that would have happened here. It wouldn't make sense. How do I explain this? We understand how should I word it? The risk involved with mentioning information to people, even if they were the aggressors in situations, right? And if we look at a situation and deem it a situation in which it mostly is a he said, she said, 9 times out of 10, when I say 99 times out of 100, there's no reason to bring it up to the other individuals, because it'll serve no purpose but to give them information to then utilize against you in this case, right?
Yeah.
Most times we would just document the information. And at that point, you know, if there's a serial number associated to that, alternatively, just attaching your name, listing, you know, stolen firearm. And at that point, if somebody gets arrested as a result, they can then be charged with the original robbery, right?
Yeah.
Now, the possibility exists that a firearm was recovered and they went over and had to explain to the individual, like, you're being charged for robbery and possession of a, you know, stolen civilian firearm because we did receive a report of a stolen firearm. So that possibility does exist. That would be the only situation in which I would find that to be reasonable. And the reality is, even if we didn't provide them with said information, which we legally have to, they can FOIA the report, and there's nothing we can do. We can't really redact information regarding a report, especially a report in which we're pressing charges. So let me take a look to see if your firearm was recovered. Did you have a serial number for it?
I did, but I didn't know it by, you know, memory.
Okay. Let me take a look. I see the report. Archon, thank you for the 23 months. I appreciate it. Huh. I mean, your statement is here. It seems the license plate. So I see an original license plate. I see a follow-up, which I would assume to be the following day. I'm not certain on that. And then there is mention that somebody may be willing to turn the gun in. I don't know. There's no mention of whether or not anybody reached out to the individual, but that tells me that somebody may have. I don't know what information they provided. Nor do I think they would have identified you. It would be silly to do so. There'd be no reason. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to document the situation and try to speak to the officer involved to get more context. Because I don't... Actually, there is a name associated with... Hold on. Let me see if this person's been arrested. Just a moment. No, the last time this person was arrested... Oh, jeez. Last time this person was arrested was about a week ago.
Gotcha. Is it Hazel? That was the one I filed the report on.
Yes. I'm trying to see if there's anything newer regarding this.
That following day when I was stopped, it was, I guess, the people who were tagging along with her the day of the robbing, and they assumed that I had said something about them as well, which is weird because I never said anything about others in the statement.
It's also possible that I mean, they could have just flat out lied and indicated that, well, that's what the police officer told me, knowing full well that anybody who loses their firearm has to report it, because if they don't, you will get a, like, I forget the exact charge, criminal negligent ownership of a firearm or something, for not reporting a firearm stolen if it was. And that falls on you. If we recover a firearm belonging to you and you don't have a police report indicating that it was stolen, you'll not only lose your weapons license, you'll have a warrant out for your arrest for a felony.
Exactly.
So the only thing